by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, we are the champions of change, advocating for diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in the world of corporate and government contracting. It's not just a show, it's a movement. So get ready for another dynamic journey as we wake up the world to a new era of opportunities and empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, President Larry Ives.
Good morning. It is the Wake Up Show Chicago, as you well know it, each and every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. Chicago. We are so happy to have you here and get those phones ready so that you can dial us at 773-591-1690. And of course, my name is LaDonna Ray with Ray Consulting, but I'm also here WVON Monday through Thursday. And the person that I co-host with is most important here. Mr. Larry Ivory, who is actually Dr. Larry Ivory, chairman of the board of the Illinois, I'm sure of the chair. I'm sorry, I'm really messing up my words here. He is our CEO and president of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and chairman of the board of the Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C. Hi, Larry. Good morning.
Good morning, LaDonna Ray, and good morning to our listening audience. It is another exciting, beautiful Saturday, and we're excited about our guests and the conversation we're going to have today.
Important. Tell me if you still hear an echo, because we're gonna fix that. You hear it?
I still hear echo.
Okay, so let's try that and we'll continue from here. But one thing that we are really excited about is our in studio guest. Um, Joining us is a dynamic person that is basically the chief executive officer of Blakely Bespoke Incorporated, where she helps entrepreneurs and families design tailored strategies for tax planning, accounting, and building generational wealth. So, in a minute, we're going to bring on Dr. Erica Blakely. I love the hand claps.
I
That's
know.
what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. And it looks like we got Buddy Love on the line, Larry.
Okay, Buddy Love,
Yes,
talk
come
to
on now.
us.
Yeah, yes.
Good
Love is
morning,
in the
buddy.
building. I was supposed to be in the building today, but uh, they keep me jumping, moving around, doing different things. So I have to get on the best way I can get on. It's your main man, Buddy Love, rocking with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. Always the founder of Coupon Vodka. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing swell-tastic. Thank you for that. So, Larry, I really want to get to the main topic here. Our guest is in studio, but we are preparing for the conference that's coming up September 9th through the 11th. And Larry, why don't you just take us through why Miss Blakely is here? I would ask her, but I want you to tell everyone why she's here.
Well, the theme of our conference is strengthening, leveraging each other for growth. And leveraging each other means that we find people that bring something to the table, and you really, kind of partnership and find ways of how you can help them and how they can help you. And I met Dr. Blakely not long ago, but was very impressed with her background. She has a significant background as a CPA. She works for Wind Trust. She has her own company. A phenomenal young lady, and I just couldn't wait to get her on the show to have her talk about what she's doing in our collaboration together. Because I think it's important in this time, with everything going on, we have to come together and protect each other's interests. If we don't do that, guys, I think we're in real trouble. So anytime we can build bridges instead of burning bridges, it becomes not only necessary, but it becomes just what we have to do in order to continue to do what we need to do. So I'm excited to have Dr. Blakely on, and I want her to tell you a little bit about herself and tell her story, a little bit of her story, and then we're going to ask some more questions, and we're going to talk about this connection with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, and also she's coming to the convention and will be in the house at the convention, and she's also invited some guests too that she wants to connect on the matchmaking section. So we're going to get right into it. And again, let me just say, hey, it's so exciting to have my good friend, Buddy Love, the owner of Coupon, who is doing a fantastic job.
Larry, you're not allowed to say the name of Buddy Love's business. Okay. not
Uh-oh.
coupon, ladies and
Copine.
gentlemen. It is coupon. There we go.
Well,
Hey
I had a
man,
shot of
hey, look,
vodka last night. It's still lingering with me. That's what it does to you.
Man.
Okay.
hey man, it's too early and cloudy for you be doing me wrong like this on a Saturday morning, Fred. You know, hey, we got to keep it right. It's about the chamber. It's about the convention. About to get ready to get down, and then you out here messing up my name. Come on, man. Where we do that at?
I like the coupon man.
Well,
I like the coupon man.
Dr. Blakely likes the coupon man. But
We're doing a name change for you, buddy.
That's all right. That's all right, man. Then see, that
Hey,
sounds like I'm giving away something for free. No, it ain't doing that.
yeah, that's right, man. That's right, man. Correct me on that.
It is
Hey,
for
but
you.
Dr. Blakely, it is
Yes.
so wonderful to have you here. Tell us a little bit about who you are and your story.
I am honored to be here, guys. Good morning. I am Dr. Erica Blakely, and the company is actually Blakely Bespoke that you talked about is my other business. I am a serial entrepreneur, but we're here to talk about Black Zenith Hub. Black Zenith Hub is a nonprofit community center. We're in Bolingbrook, but we're here to support small businesses, young aspiring entrepreneurs as well. Focused on creating a space that and a structure that helps support small businesses and the youth getting them to and through college. I'm excited about this opportunity to partner with the Black Chamber because the Black Chamber works on a state level advocacy level, and we're here kind of boots on the ground to kind of help bridge that gap in the macro that they cover, and we take the micro side of things just to help Black businesses grow.
I love that. That really updates things, Larry, because with her being a powerhouse and with you being not like she's not sitting here, guys,
No, no,
but with
appreciate
Dr. Blakely being a powerhouse in business and finance and helping families, still, this is going to be the bridge of the gap that we need to do
it.
as far
Absolutely,
as the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce
absolutely.
goes. And along with Buddy
Mhm.
Love has had Copan Vodka, and you've been hitting boots on the ground as well. So bringing all of these entities
Yes.
together, they're still relevant and they're going to be associated with the conference that's coming up.
Absolutely. I think for me, I have been known as the side business CPA. I've been speaking on stages for the last 20 plus years to people that have side businesses, so to speak, um, because it pains me to see that we are, as a side business, paying $200 or $300 for bookkeeping because they said you needed it, or you're paying $1,200, $1,500. I had a lady literally in the office yesterday pay $2,000 for tax preparation when I can show you what to do and how to do it so that you can do it yourself and save money. Because as a side business, how many of you know that $600 or $700 a month change your life?
Yeah.
That's a better house, a better car, better school, better healthcare, whatever that means. And those things matter. So why go give it away to somebody when I literally can teach you those things for free? Is what we do. We provide all of those things for all of our members at Black Zenith Hub so that they can keep more of their money in their pockets.
I'm a little concerned about how individuals are out there. They're working a job, and as you know, we talked about the 300,000 even African American women that just lost their jobs within the
Mm-hmm.
last 60 days.
Yes.
And when does your side business become your business?
Well, we have to keep that in perspective because if you think about it, 90+% of them will always be a side business.
Mm.
And I think that too many people, there's too many coaches and too many things taking advantage of getting people to think all of their businesses can become their main business. We need chiefs and Indians, right? So it's not
Hmm.
going to always be that way. So let's stay focused. But having a business where you're I don't really like the term side business, but that helps people understand
It's like
perspective.
a side chick.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But having that business also makes some of your regular life expenses tax deductible. So not only are you keeping more of your money from the business, but you're also deducting some of your expenses, thereby still changing your life on a broader level. And I think that we take advantage of those people too much. If one more person called me say, "Hey, I got my LLC. Now what?" Mm-hmm. Do you even need an LLC? Do you
Mm.
even know what that means? How does that apply to you? Well, because my auntie, cousin, sister got one, so I got one.
Wait, auntie, cousin,
Right,
wow, I
right.
got one
See,
of those. Okay.
They do that with that.
yeah, and then everybody wants to get funding. Not like that's just not for everybody. I'm all for that, and there are people that can serve them. I'm serving the 90% of the people that don't need that and may never need that.
how do you identify or self-identify with your organization instead of assuming that this is for you? It may not be for you, but how do you self-identify and align yourself with your organization?
I think that comes in partnerships. That's, with this partnership with Illinois Black Chamber, because again, they have the people that we want to serve. My husband is the Bolingbrook Citizen of the Year, so he serves at a broader level.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So he serves at a lot of different organizations, and it's getting the people that we know. We are what we need. We just have
Mm.
to come together and be there and share the resources. So I think that we, in the partnerships that we have and that we're creating with the people, and I just trust God to bring the people that He created this vision for me, and I trust Him for the provision for that as well. He's gonna send us the people we need.
Larry?
Hey, that's why I brought her on the show. You can see that she has a incredible insight. And as I said, the title of our conference is Leveraging Each Other for Growth. Here is an asset we're bringing to our members. And I can't thank you enough, Dr. Blakely, because I get calls all the time about, Larry, I need a CPA. And these are sometimes, medium-sized companies that are doing over $1 million in revenue.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, our CPA is so busy, he can't take on any more clients. And there's another one who can't take on. So now I have someone to say, look, let me check with Dr. Erica Blakely and to put you in contact with her. And then you can do what you do with them. And really, it's about each other finding ways to help you, leveraging each other. That's the beauty of this whole thing. That's what I'm excited about this conference, because our ability to leverage everything we have. When you leverage things, you are putting yourself in a better position, like leveraging AI, the data which we're going to be talking about at the conference. And you are the moderator of the AI panel. And, there was a comment I think a gentleman made. He says that the bad news is that we are behind on AI. He said the
Hmm.
good news is that white people are behind on AI also. So there's an enormous opportunity to leverage AI. And I'm excited about one of those, that workshop, LaDonna, that you'll be moderating.
Yeah, we have to keep in mind that technology is forever evolving, and so there's
Hmm.
no way to get ahead of it. You have to keep up with it, absolutely. And no matter what the culture is, we have to have a plan to utilize it. It's underutilized and underrealized in our community, especially, and we're not always early adopters.
Hmm.
And for you, Doctor Blakely, when you have individuals that are not as willing to adopt your program,
Hmm.
what do you say to them? Do you say, okay, deuces, I'm just being
Yeah,
real?
yeah, yeah. I think that it's okay to say okay deuces sometimes.
Hmm.
I do try not to do that, because I think you have to meet people where they are. I was a professor as well. When Larry talked about me, in my corporate world, my firm, we do public company financial reporting. So when you hear companies have released their earnings and things like that, those are the companies that I do that 10Qs, 10Ks, the SEC reporting. Um, and then I'll just circle back really quick. You talked about Blakely Bespoke. I am one of less than 1% of Black women in this country that own a utility patent. So I have an issued utility patent. So that's Blakely Bespoke. I make attachable French cuffs that go on shirts you already own. So that is something that I do, but not to brag about that, but to show that the people coming behind me that it is possible.
Please, Brad, because I'm going to ask you about that patent process.
It's challenging, but it's you got to get the right patent attorney, and not everything is patentable. So,
Hmm.
and we have to be realistic about that sometimes too. So when people are coming and they're talking about, they don't buy into the program, everybody's not ready for the knowledge. Everybody's not ready for AI,
Right.
you know, and that's okay, because it's either you're gonna pay now or you're gonna pay later.
True that. Now, Buddy Love, I want to bring you back into the fold. I know it's always we're always hearing about your product, Copan Vodka. And with that being said, how many times have you said,
Mm,
I'll figure things out on my own as far as
mm.
transactions and filing or doing your taxes later or things of that nature?
You know what? It used to be, I'll figure it out. But to the good doctor's point, I mean, you got to have professionals come in at some point to really
Mhm.
guide you. in the right direction, because you don't want it to be now years down the line you push some things to the side and here it is, you're getting something saying that you owe a ton of money. Uh, Never wanted to be in that position, but I have to know what my skill sets are.
Mm-hmm.
And that skill set is I don't do numbers like that.
Right.
I get out here, I'm the face in the place, I'm the voice of the choice.
Mm-hmm.
I let
All right
somebody
now.
else do them numbers.
Right.
So it's definitely important. And that's a part of, if you're going to take that side hustle and you finally figure out the roadmap to really make it work, you need an entrusted team, and especially on the financial side, especially when you start, like I'm at that point now, I'm bringing in minority investors to now really show them where this money is going, how it's being used, how it's going to help scale the company. You need people in place along with you to guide you, because you might not make the right decision all the time when it comes to where those funds go. And then when it's tax side, you want to ensure that you're putting up enough to make sure that, hey, no one's knocking. Because I want to be like that dude, I never say his name, that's in that White House. Hey, I don't want to pay taxes either.
Okay.
So I'm an
Right.
expense to my company. I don't work for my company.
Amen. Amen. See,
There
listen,
you
buddy,
go.
and
So,
there are so many loopholes now. That's the thing.
I was
First of
gonna ask
all,
you about loopholes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you tax strategies. We're gonna ride the line together. But in corporate America, you can justify an estimate of something if it's an educated guess, right? And everything that goes on your personal tax return and your business tax return, I don't care who did it, you're responsible for it. So I
Mm,
don't want people in the mindset of how much money I'm getting back. I want you in the mindset of how much less can I pay.
right.
It's a difference. It's a different mindset.
exactly.
We don't want to
So
talk
you
Exactly.
get
about
rid
that.
of
Yeah,
the
and
gimme
it's always
perspective.
rapid refunds and all of those things. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's not it.
Yeah.
But it pains me when I used to do taxes, I had truck drivers that would come with garbage bags of receipts for, I mean, I'm talking about 20 years ago. But then you've made $150,000 on a 1099 and don't want to pay anything and looking
Right.
for a refund. That's not how it works, you know.
Also, that could be a deficit when it comes to applying for loans, as we were
Come
talking
on,
about,
girl.
because now
Come
your
on.
income is not
You
showing. You've
right.
lost everything. So
Because
how can you
you want to
afford?
write everything off. That's
Yeah.
not how things work
Yeah.
unless you're stacking away a lot of cash. But we got to pay Caesar what's due Caesar.
Hmm. Come on,
Yeah,
somebody.
that's it. That is the truth. Come on now. I think I just put on one of them feathery clowns right now. Say that again.
And one of the things,
Say that one again.
Buddy mentioned about like the team and everybody. So we can service the small business, but when we get to the larger level, we've just created our board. We have CEO of one of the largest companies in the world participating on our board. So we've got a good team of people to help the smaller businesses scale to that medium to larger size. And then what we don't have, we want to be able to bridge that gap and provide the resources. Nobody has everything, right? But we want to be able to be that one-stop shop for people who are servicing our clients. Let Black Zenith be the home for you as well.
Yeah. Well, Chicago and everyone else listening, you're listening to the Wake Up Show Chicago with Larry Ivory, Buddy Love, and myself, LaDonna Ray. And we have our very special guest, Dr. Erica Blakely, in the house. And there's a few people out there that may be listening that kind of forgot to file their taxes
Oh, of course.
year after year. Maybe they're going on 3, 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, they may feel like it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do. I'm a little bit concerned. I just need to start over, because we have a good habit of starting over in our community, but it doesn't mean that what we haven't done went away.
Correct.
So, with that in mind, what do you say to someone who has a bit of a problem when it comes to not filing the taxes that they should have filed, or not even filing their annual report on time?
Mm-hmm. The annual report,
Is
and
that a whole nother show?
that's a whole nother show because everybody who has everybody who has this LLC,
Yeah.
there are things you're supposed to do every 5 years as an LLC owner that I'm sure 99% of your listeners
Don't
have
know
not done
about.
and
Hmm.
don't know.
Right,
Um,
right.
but when you talk about taxes, it's you have to take care of that because those people gonna come knocking at your door. You want to sleep well. I had a young lady yesterday. I won't give her name, but she came into the office and I didn't even charge her for this. She had about 50 sheets of paper from whoever prepared her taxes for the year, and she paid them $2,000 first of all. And then they wanted to charge her another 5,000 for tax strategy, and the 5,000 based on what they would save her for the year. But last year in 2024, she had about $125,000 of uh, additional income because she sold some stock and she had a gain from it. That's a one-time event. So now you're going to make somebody who doesn't know what's on the, like, I'm going to save you $10,000 next year when you're not, because it was a one-time event. She's not going to pay that again anyway.
So
Right.
the accountants are, or those particular entities are
Hmm.
becoming predators.
Absolutely.
And are they expecting to get the money out of the return itself, if there is one?
Yeah, they're charging exorbitant fees, number one, and then they're doing these tax strategy things, and that's just because we don't have the knowledge. We are afraid of numbers. But if you do it, or I do it, or your tax person do it, and the people who used to work for the IRS, I'm sorry, y'all, but y'all the worst, because they act like they know some things when 90% of them are doing what the system tells
Told
them to
them to
do.
do. Yeah.
Right.
They had
But
their own AI.
5 plus 5 is still gonna be 10, whether I
Hmm.
do it or you do it, right?
And just so you know, guys, those of you listening, and you can watch us on Facebook Live. I'm sorry I didn't
Mm.
announce that at the
Oh,
beginning.
perfect.
But on Facebook Live, you can tap in on WVON's Facebook Live and the Wake Up Show's Facebook Live. And you can go to my Facebook Live also. But make sure you put the comments in there. I'm going to read a couple of them. But I want to point out that Dr. Erica Blakely put in air quotes tax strategies. Okay. So don't, I want you to know that those were air quotes.
That was
Okay.
me.
That's
Yes, ma'am.
very important to know. Larry?
Well, one of the things I think is important for us, is that we have been very intentional about creating the right environment for business growth at our conference coming up on September the 9th to the 11th. And, we got to talk about that because that's our big day. We have put
Absolutely.
an enormous amount of time and energy into creating the right environment where people can come together and get knowledge and information and networking. And one of the highlights of our conference is how always been our matchmaking. So we have some incredible companies who are coming to the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce Conference for the sole purpose of developing relationship with African American business owners. And if you want to get connected, and I tell people all the time, I believe in the Almighty, and we can't get an opportunity if we're sitting at home. If you come to this conference, I believe something good is going to happen to you.
Hmm.
You got to expect it. You got to be intentional, and I believe that you're going to find people that will help you take your business to the next level,
Absolutely.
build some new relationships. But if you're not there, you can't do it. You can't do it sitting at home. You can't do it doing something else. This is really a place to be, in my opinion. So let's talk a little bit about some of the highlights of the conference today, LaDonna, Dr. Blakely, and Buddy Love, about the conference coming up. LaDonna, you're going to kick this conference off. You and your co-host on
Yes,
the
yes.
morning on your show every Monday to Thursday. You and Mr. Buchanan will be kicking the conference off with how to leverage and get the most out of the conference. And that's so important because there's small things that you can do that you may not be doing that if you do these things will help you to leverage the time, your energy that you're spending at the conference. And that's exciting. You want to add anything to that, LaDonna?
I mean, you just really said it best. It's so important to, when you go to these conferences, a lot of times people hear conference and maybe they've been burned out by
Hmm.
conferences that they've been to because their job sent them. And they're there because they have to be,
Have
and
to
it's
be. Right.
mandatory. But when you go on your own, when you have your own business and you go to a conference, it looks a lot different.
Yeah.
A, because you paid for it.
That part.
B, because of the expectations.
Hmm.
And C, you got to know how to navigate those expectations and receive those expectations. They don't just fall in your lap just because you showed up like
And
you
the
did
fact
at
that you
work.
guys are actually doing something to tell people how to navigate that,
Absolutely.
that doesn't happen.
No, it does not. So you have to have your QR codes ready, have
Mm.
your business cards ready, have your tablets ready.
Come on.
However, whatever system you have in place, and that I don't want to give too much away, but I do want people to show up prepared. I have
Yes.
no
Oh
problem in
my
doing
God.
that.
Yes.
So showing up prepared so that you can leverage each other because there's going to be a lot of people there. And what would you do if you were in the room with
Yeah.
Dr. Erica Blakely?
Mm-hmm.
Would you just ask her how, or tell her how beautiful her braids are?
Oh,
Because
thank
they are
you. Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
Or would you actually have your pitch together with how
Mm-hmm.
you would work together with her? You
Mm-hmm.
have to know how to conduct yourself so that you know how to work with different people, or even Buddy Love. Buddy, I know you're not showing up as Buddy Love on the day of the conference.
No, no, no.
Okay.
You know that guy has to stay in the other room.
Oh,
He's
uh-oh.
never called. He's never called until he's needed. I got to tell the people though, man. Look, if you can't swim, don't expect others to get in the shallow pool with you. You
There
got to
you
get
go.
out there and swim sometimes.
Come on.
And go ahead and get your strokes in, and this will get your game up. You can't be afraid for something that you claim that you want, because then when the good Lord he put it in front of you to do what you're supposed to do, man, are you gonna be ready? A lot of times you you don't know if you're gonna be able to be like King David and throw that slingshot when the time comes. you
That's right.
know what I mean? So sometimes you're gonna have to start with a little pebble instead of a big rock. So you got to come on in, get down with us, because you got a lot of professionals in the room, and they can guide you to help you build your dream. So
And
that's the thing.
let me say this, buddy. What I need us to do is to stop making excuses about the money, because I'm
Ooh,
sure
Lord,
the
yeah,
small price that you're going to pay for this that will change your life at this conference, you've paid for
that's right.
a pair of tennis shoes or a purse or a weekend out because y'all got to get your hair done. That's about two
Right,
$300. You're gonna get your nails done. That's another 100. You're gonna buy an outfit, and let's not talk about a drink that's $20 $30. So I need y'all
there
to
you
stop.
go.
I need the excuses to go away, and I need y'all to make sure you register because this is a tax deduction. All the other stuff you spend money on is not. But
Mm.
I don't want to hear no excuses about the money. We need to do better.
I like how she said it's a tax deduction because I don't think we've mentioned that.
Right.
And that's good information. And this is why leveraging each other so
Hmm.
that we know, okay, if I or when I purchase this ticket, I
Exactly.
can write it off at the end of the year. And that's coming up fast, guys, because it's
Yes.
already August
Yes.
and the conference is in September. So it is a September expense. A question to you, Larry, because you have a background in finance, and I know that I often bring that up because I'm so enamored by just
Mm.
having the access to someone who has such a large and wide background in finance. If someone is looking to strategize without a business plan, so to speak, and they don't necessarily have their financials in order. However, they appear to be making money because there's
Mm.
cash flow,
Mm.
right? And this may be a question for both of you. The cash flow is coming in, but the portfolio is not going up. What's missing?
You want to
Well,
answer
let
that?
me say this, Ladonna. You can have cash flow and you can have a number of things. The real question is that are you structured right? Is your foundation strong? If your
Mm-hmm.
foundation is weak, whatever you build on it could eventually crumble. And so
Mm-hmm.
you got to make sure that you have a solid foundation and you got things in place. Once you have that, you build on it. And a cash flow, can put you to, like I tell people all the time, and they talk about cash flow and money. And I said, look, too much business is just as bad as too little business. Both of them will put you out of business if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's important to surround yourself with people, CPAs, people who have been in business, so that you can really make sure that you get off on the good foot. Have things down pat, ready to go so you can move forward and build it on a solid foundation so that you can keep moving. Because money, like the good book says, you know, uh, feast is made for enjoyment, wine maketh merry, but money answers all things. And 90% of our problems that we have is tied to the lack of money. So if it's 90% of our problem, we need to understand money, how to make it work, and how to utilize it so that we can have a better life and do the things we want to do.
Let me add to that in understanding to your point, LaDonna. Um, in understanding the money, it's if you can't monetize what you can't measure, you can't improve what you can't measure, right? So if you have waited until the end of the year to even look at your finances, when if you were measuring those things all along, let's say in March, the product that you're doing, let's whatever that business is, if you were looking at it, you would see the product cost is going up, or this is
Mm.
going up, or this is not working, and you would be able to pivot.
Tariffs.
Girl, come on now. You'll be able to pivot and find something else ahead of time. It's a lack of
Yeah.
preparedness. It's the lack of measuring along the way and avoiding and not paying taxes for 2 or 3 years because you're afraid of it, when really the power comes in knowing,
Hmm.
because it allows you to pivot. It allows you to do whatever it is you need to do. One of my listeners said the most expensive thing you can do is invest in yourself.
Hmm.
So if you invest in yourself in this conference, you're gonna got it. You got to put yourself out there. You take
Yeah.
one step, he'll take the next two. If he's putting all these people around you, like I think Buddy said, if you're in the middle of the pond and you can't swim, but the person right next to you got the life jacket, but you don't reach out, make that
Mm.
make sense.
Right.
So don't be in the middle of the pond by yourself when you're surrounded by swimmers and lifeguards. And that's what this
I love
conference is
that.
going to be like.
Right. It's almost like it's not what you know how they say what you don't know won't hurt you.
Yes,
It's the opposite.
correct.
It's what you
In
don't know
business,
will hurt you in
correct.
business. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think in anything at
And
this
I
point.
I'm glad you mentioned, like you said, Larry has a background in finance. And I need people to understand there's a difference in accounting, there's a
Oh,
difference
Mhm.
in finance,
yeah.
there's a
Absolutely.
difference in auditing. Just like your gynecologist is not going to be your neurologist or your neurosurgery.
And nor would
Like
I go to
right.
them.
Come on now.
Right. So,
Boy, we can really go on the deep end on that one.
I,
So yeah.
I think it's important for
You
people.
don't have a gynecologist, buddy.
People have to,
Man,
not all things are created equal, right? Not all
that's
CPAs do
right. That's
taxes.
right.
Right.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Hey, hey, LaDonna, but I do menopause though. I do menopause. I don't care what
Baby,
nobody say.
You
praise the
know
Lord.
what?
Thank you for being
Eyelashes
so
are real.
transparent. Yeah, amen. Amen.
You always find a way. You always find a way. All right, listening family, I want to get your attention, guys. For those of you that are listening in the sound of our voices, the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce's 20th year anniversary. It's the business conference, I should say. It's coming up September 9th through the 11th at Wind Creek Casino Southland. It's actually Wind Creek Chicago Southland. I didn't say it right. But and they also sponsor this show front and back. And if you had the chance to sit across the table from major corporations for about, I don't know, 20 minutes and just you and them in a room, what would you pitch?
Mm,
What would your business be? What would you say to them? Now, whether you're a business, nonprofit, or even an idea you've been sitting on, give us a call 773-591-1690. And don't forget, those of you that are interested in coming to the conference, go to ilbcc.org and you'll see 2025 conference. Once you click on that, you'll be able to click on, I think, the AI, the highlights. Click on the highlights and you'll see the panel. And there
mhm.
will be, I asked Larry this, I was like, is it all business and no fun? He's like, nope, we've got a comedy show. That's right. We've got a comedy show that's going to be during that time. I forget which night. Is that the 10th? The ninth?
Yeah. No, that's the ninth. That's the first night,
Okay.
Madonna.
First night. First night, I should know. First night. My cousin, shout out to Marlon Mitchell's gonna be on
Okay.
there. Also Ballhead and comedian Stick. So they are funny. They have a reputation. I'm gonna say it nicely. They have a reputation here in Chicago to make people laugh and not go to work the next day. So be careful. But I want to make sure that everybody knows to go to ilbcc.org and you can give us a call about your pitch, and that's 773-591-1690. All
Hey,
right, back.
Madonna, let me add this to it. The conference that we did, because of our sponsors, we made the conference so affordable.
So
And when you
affordable.
think about going to a comedy show, you would normally pay,
A
50,
hundred.
$75. That's free in your registration. And then the second day, on Wednesday, we have Bobby Lee, and I think I'm saying that right, but she was nominated 3 times Stellar Award
Mm.
nominated for her incredible voice in gospel, and she's going to turn it out on the second day, and then the third day we're going to talk about that on the next Saturday, where we're going to be great. We're going to have a great time at the Chicago Sky basketball game that Thursday night. So we really have some fun building this thing. But I want to go back to and just celebrate because it's important to celebrate, successful men and women And I want to highlight a couple of the men and women who are going to be given an award at the conference. So I'm going to start with none other than President Tony Preckwinkle will be getting the Dr. Arthur Fletcher Award.
Oh,
Then we
wow.
have none other than the mayor of the city of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, who is doing a great job putting in the fight. He is getting the Perrin J. Mitchell Award. And both of these people, if you understand Dr. Fletcher, he was a father of affirmative action. He wrote affirmative action, and it was also the guy who coined the phrase "a mind is a terrible thing to waste," and
Mhm.
also won the Medal of Honor in Patton's Army. That's a phenomenal guy. You look at history makers; he's a part of the 100 history makers in terms of he was heavily involved in Brown versus Board of Education, and he was also my mentor. But an iconic figure that I had a chance to hang out with him, Andrew Young, and a number of other people at the national level. The Perrin J. Mitchell Award is Perrin J. Mitchell is the gentleman who helped founded the Black Caucus in Washington D.C. He was a small guy, but he wrote the 8A and most of the business legislation that you see was authored by him, by Perrin J. Mitchell. And if you Google this guy, you'll see the history. He's one of those another iconic figures who've done such a great job. We're also going to be honoring a young lady by the name of Crystal Roberts. She is one of the tycoons in the automotive business, where it's a male dominated business, but this sister has risen to the ranks and are doing some incredible things. I think they own a number of dealerships, but she's knocking it out of the park. She's going to be our keynote speaker. She's getting the Woman Entrepreneur of the Year. And then we have May Whiteside Williams, who is going to be getting the Small Business of the Year, the Small Business of the Year award. And she is an engineering firm who's been around, who I'm sure she got some war stories to tell, because when you're a black woman in the business, you got some
Sensitive.
challenges. They
Mhm.
don't make it easy for you, but she's endured and she stayed the course and she is growing. She has an office not only in Chicago, but in Atlanta also. So shout out to Miss May Whiteside. And then I think the other person that we have the Brashards, who's getting the honor award for the Bob Dale Lifetime Achievement Award. And the Brashards is a great um, couple who are doing some incredible things. We went to Zimbabwe together. So we can be honored. Come and see these honorees and participate. We chose people that we know represent the best in us, and we want to be supportive. Come out and be a part of the fun, but be a part of the knowledge and opportunity that we're creating. And I tell you, if you come, something good's going to happen to you. You're going to leave this conference, I believe, and you will say it was the best investment I've made, and I am pumped. I'm ready to go. And I'll highlight a couple other things real quickly, Thomas, that I'm excited about. I'm excited about all of it, but the other thing we have on the last day, we have four major companies, from president of ComEd, the leadership of NICOR, the president of Emron, and the president of Illinois American Water Company. Now, to get this, guys, the utility companies have the best diversity span of any other companies by far. And Illinois does one of the best jobs when it comes to diversity span with the utility companies. Their numbers are staggering, 35, 38% when it comes to diversity span. And they have a lot of money, and there's a lot of things happening in the industry. George Williams is going to be the moderator, iconic figure who's been in the energy space. He's retired, but he serves on four major boards around the country. And he used to be the head of our energy team, the chairman of our energy, and the guy background is just absolutely incredible. Then you have the mayor's panel. So Ladonna, we got so many things that we can highlight. So let's talk about some of the highlights that you like coming up on the conference. We got
Well,
Black Media.
before I go to the black media and everything, I don't know why, but you started sounding like a preacher.
Baby, listen.
Come to the altar,
I,
come to
I'm
the.
gonna
You
take.
heard it too,
I'm gonna take the some. If you come, something good's gonna happen
right?
to you.
Right.
I will
I
be
started
using
hearing
that.
that. I started hearing it.
Hey, my father was I'm the proud son of Reverend Jeffrey Ivory, who pastored for 40 years before he passed away.
Okay,
And
praise
he
God.
said that if you got what you got, if it ain't contagious, then there's something wrong with you. What you got ought to be contagious.
Okay.
And if you're excited about it and you know it's good to you, you need to share that goodness with somebody else. This conference is good. I want to share with you. I don't want you to miss it. It's like a good movie, a good dinner, a good restaurant. The last thing you're going to do when you have a great restaurant, the food is incredible, the price is right, you're going to tell your friends, look, man, go, man, that they're laying it out. Go get some of that. And I'm telling you, go get some of this that we have done. We have put it together with the full thought of you and black business. Don't miss out. Don't do yourself a disservice.
If you
Yes.
come, something good's gonna happen to you.
Something good
After,
is going to happen for you,
yeah,
with you, around you, whether
Yes,
whether
yes,
you're
yes,
there
yes.
or not, but you want to definitely be a part of it. And yes, we were talking about the importance of black media.
Mm,
So the media panel, I'm really excited about it because being a woman in media, which I always high five and hug other women in media because it's it's a tough game,
yeah.
but it's also even more tough being black media. And because of that, we want to highlight the importance of leveraging Black voices and how to do so. We have Deanna McCleary Sherman, True Star Media, Carl West, he is with MG Media, Kathy Cheney, who is with, she's the executive editor of the Times of Northwest Indiana, and of course, our very own Rufus Williams with WVON 1690. And that will be moderated by none other than Deborah Olivia Farmer with Brown Farmer Media Group. I'm really excited about that. And I know we use that word so often, but there's a level of excitement when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to being black and having a
Mm.
platform. You put those two together and you uplift voices.
Amen.
And that's why I can say that I have a level of excitement.
Right.
Now, I also want to share with everyone the sponsorship or the sponsors that we have. Aetna Better Health. That's no small part. Come on now.
Come. Mm,
Allwin Lottery.
mm.
You played the lottery the other day. I know
Right.
I did.
Somebody paid
Okay.
today for that billion
Did
dollars
they
now.
get it?
No, not yet.
Oh, I was about to
I
say,
ain't won yet.
that's my money. No, no, no. Me and you, girl. Okay.
I split it with you.
So, because of that, because we're going to split it, we're still going to be at the conference. Well, I don't know. But Ameren, Illinois. Anchor Staffing. Let me just go through. There's Bally's Casino. They're sponsoring. ComEd is sponsoring. Verizon is sponsoring. University of Illinois, United Airlines. These are big names, and these are just a chosen few. Not even all of our sponsors. And then, of course, there's the matchmaking. Let's
Mm,
not forget the matchmaking. We have. You can sit across from these companies. Of course, you have to register, and you have to let us know you're interested in the matchmaking, right? We're talking about companies like Edna. Like I would sit across from Edna and pitch
mm,
what?
mm.
Okay, for 20 minutes. Get
Have it
ready.
together.
Right. Have
Have
it
it together.
together. And it's not an intimidation factor. It is a personal one-on-one conversation.
Right.
And it's also an opportunity for even Edna to say, listen, I see what you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you need to become one of our chosen vendors.
That part.
I've
hey,
seen
hey,
it.
hey, Ladonna, let me chime in. Let me also let you know that Wind Trust
Come
is
on.
also a sponsor of the convention, as well as some of the African American black business, like Ardmore Roderick Group is a major sponsor of the event. Infrastructure engineering, SLG. You have so many companies, over 33 companies, who are partnering because they believe that black businesses matter, that you cannot compete in this global economy by not having diversity. I don't know what people think that
Uh-huh.
you can compete in a global economy not understanding diversity. I just don't make it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I'm a guy who understands a little bit about business. I worked in the investment banking business for over 26 years with Merrill Lynch and with Citigroup. So I get it. And I think it's so important to have when people believe in you, you want your people in black media for all of us to come together and unite, guys, and move our agenda forward.
And
Uh,
speaking of being black, we I just look for an opportunity to say that. Taylor Electric will be there. I hear you laughing, buddy. Taylor Electric will be there, and they have been in business, a black-owned business,
I love
for
it.
103
Look
years.
at God.
Yes. So Kendra
100.
Deacons will be there, and they are a proud sponsor of the
And any business
conference.
that is under the sound of our voice, and if you hear this later, any business that has a presence in Chicago or in Illinois that is not a sponsor, you still got time. Get on board because, like Larry said, Black businesses matter.
We do.
It
We
does.
absolutely do. And then I know I didn't list all of the sponsors, Larry. They will be on the website. But we have some matchmakers out
Mhm.
there, some matchmaking companies and agencies. And I'm going to run down this list because I want you guys to remember these names. You can sit across from any one of these. Okay. We've got Ameren, Illinois. We've got American Water Company, Bally's, Capital Development Board, Caesar Entertainment, Chicago Department of Aviation, Chicago Transit Authority. That's also known as
CTA.
CTA. Yeah, that one.
Mhm.
City of Champaign, City of
Mhm.
Chicago, ComEd, Constellation, Cook County Procurement Office,
Mm.
Department of Innovation and Technology, Governor State University, Illinois Department of Corrections, Illinois Department of Transportation. And by the way, Illinois Department of Corrections is not there to arrest your nephew, so you can still come and sit across from them. Illinois State Toll Highway Authority, McCormick Place, Nicor Gas, Parkland College, People's Gas, Rivers Casino, University of Illinois System, Waukegan Housing Authority, and Wind Creek Chicago Southland. Those
Mhm.
are just some of the matchmaking companies that we have in front of us at this moment. And the conference is still 2 weeks away.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
So,
think
hey, I'm excited. And Dr. Brink, let me say again before we get away, because I know our time is at hand. And when you're having a good time, you ever notice when you're having a good time, time goes so
time flies.
fast. But
Yes.
if you want time to go fast, like it takes forever. And this show has gone by so fast. I want to make sure, Dr. Blakely, that you kind of share your perspective on the conference and anything you want the listening audience to understand about why it's so important for us to come together. I want to give you the floor right now for that.
I appreciate that. I think that we as Black business people have to do better with each other. This is an opportunity to do that. Um, we need to show up better, number one, but we also need to give each other a lot more grace. We will go to McDonald's 100 times and they get our order wrong.
Oh, come on, say
But
it.
one Black business do something a little wrong, then we gonna hang them to the cross. I'm so over the cancel culture that we have in
Hmm.
our community specifically, but we continue to support the ones outside that keep doing us wrong.
Yeah, my fries were cold yesterday.
See,
I'm going back today, though.
right, because they good, and
Yeah.
you know that they'll get it better, and but we have to do that for each other. So here's an opportunity to put yourself around people that can help us be better, but we also again show each other a lot more grace.
Yeah.
We got to show up better. And unfortunately, right, wrong, or indifferent, we as Black people have to show up good all the time to the other people in their minds. But we also, if we can give each other a little more grace in our own community, then we can demand it from the other people as well.
You know what's funny is if we were to give more grace,
Hmm.
not just in business, but in
Life,
community and
yes,
family
yes,
altogether, then we'd be so much
we
further.
would.
And we'd be able to offer those 300,000 Black women that lost their jobs positions.
Amen.
Yeah, if we were to do that.
I would be
Capture
remiss
that
if I didn't
talent.
talk about one little thing as well. At Black Zenith Hub, we have an entire store dedicated to products for children 15 to 23. We don't charge them anything to sell their products in there. We teach them entrepreneurship, we teach them marketing, all of those things. But that store is dedicated to children because we want to help get them to and through college. So 15 to 23 children that have products that they want in retail, we have a store section dedicated at Black Zenith Hub for them. So I didn't want to leave without making sure we put that out because we also have to train that next generation and bridge the gap between their parents' business and what their future looks like because they are our future.
Logan and
Absolutely.
Liam,
Look,
I know you hear
Uh
my
oh.
voice. I
Uh
need
oh.
you to put your products
Yes,
over there.
please, for
Okay.
sure.
hey, Donna, let's, Buddy Love, before you go,
Yeah.
man, it's always an honor to have you a part of our team. So give us your thoughts real quick before we get off the air. Then we'll pass it back. LaDonna close us out.
Yeah, man. You said it in a nutshell, man. This is your opportunity to show up and show out.
Yes.
And then, I would be remiss if I don't say, hey, we got a lot of international brothers that's going to be there.
Okay.
And don't think you got to rock on this side of the pond. You can do it in Mother Africa and get your business right and tight. So there's plenty of people that are going to be there representing these countries, and it's an opportunity for you to look and think global. That's all I got, Chief. That's all I got.
That's
You know,
heavy.
Zimbabwe
That
forever.
is.
Zimbabwe forever.
That's so funny. I love it. I love it. Right. She's doing her Wakanda cross, guys. She's doing the Wakanda cross. Okay. And we're not talking about Wakanda, Illinois. So here we go. Because there is such a place.
Really? I
I'm
didn't
gonna
even
go.
know that.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's spelled differently. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. But most importantly, thank you so much for tuning in with yourselves and improving our community, our strategies, our businesses, and our
Mhm.
mission. Do so by going to and registering at ilbcc.org for the 20th annual ILBCC conference so that we can see you out there. And as you register, be ready to greet us when you come out because I can't wait to shake each and every one of you's hands and welcome you to the conference the correct way. Also, we're here each and every Saturday at 9 a.m. I can't wait to talk to you guys next week. Are we in next week, Larry? Because it's the holidays Monday.
The
Do we
holiday
get a
will be
break?
No, the
Oh,
holiday gonna
okay.
be
All
over.
right. All right. I
We
guess
still
we're
have a
still
few more
here.
days to register. We're
All
gonna
right.
be
Yeah,
And
yeah, absolutely.
thank you to our sponsor, WVON, number one, the WVON, and Wind Creek, Chicago, Southland. That's it. We'll see you next week on the Wake Up Show Chicago. And I'll see you Tuesday because I'm off Monday.
all right now.
Celebrity style.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm joking.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Of course. Thank
All right.
you, Dr. Blakely. Bye bye for now.
Follow us across the socials at The Wake Up Show Chicago. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. It's The Wake Up Show every Saturday morning at 9, where change begins with every sunrise.
Welcome to the Wake Up Show Chicago.
That's the end?
The talk of Chicago is 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
For over 20 years, Ed Crump Quality Air Service has been keeping Chicagoland comfortable with expert refurbishing, sales, and installation of heating, air conditioning, and steam or hot water boilers. Whether it's a repair or a full install, trust the pros at Quality Air Service. Visit our showroom at 8543 South Cottage Grove. Open Tuesday through Friday, 10 until 4, and Saturday, 10 until 1. Need help fast? We are available 24 hours a day. Call Ed Crump today at 708-334-6715. Ed Crump Quality Air Service, where comfort meets experience.
Ed Crump has built the state-of-the-art heating and cooling showroom in the heart of our community. Stop by Quality Air Service at 8543 South Cottage Grove or call 708-334-6715.
I am attorney Ernest B. Fenton. Monday, September 1st, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Join me as we talk asset protection, legacy planning, wealth creation, and avoiding probate. Don't miss out. The lines will be open and I can't wait. Monday, September 1st, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. live on WVON AM 1690. Attorney Ernest B. Fenton.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
It's Rainbow Push's Saturday Morning Forum on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
Let our rejoicing rise high in the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun.
like the band to continue to play that in the background. I want to just offer, as we think about the words of that song, we think about the refrain. Hear me now. This is a meditation because we're driven at one level by the faith of our past. It brought us through many dark times. We think about the hope of our future. It's two parts of this song. We talk about the faith of our past, grounded. It is what gives us the strength, the foundation to believe in our future. And so we're two parts. We're one part faith, and faith, we put faith on top of our feet, and it becomes hope in the future. And so we have an obligation, one, to be grounded in the faith of our Christianity and our religion and our God who's eternal, and in the hope that he will make things right if you work. Please remember. In the hope that he will make things right if you work. Please remain standing for the invocation, Reverend.
What is happening in Haiti and the Congo. God, we pray for peace on every shore and even in our communities. And then, God, as we look towards this broadcast, we encourage our people to stand